Blackpot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we'll just criticize to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. This is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. Yes. This is the Blackpot, aka Kukushonamo, and here we speak truth to power. Now today we have a number of issues we need to look at, and I want us to go through this as quickly as we can. Now the very first story I want to look at, and I need you to come along, my brother, my sister, is this one here that I am very, very interested in. It is from the 3news.com site, one of the most authentic sources of news online. And this one says, Appiah-Kubi showed open hostility to officers who investigated bribery allegation. And this is from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Listen. Now the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, has said that the Member of Parliament for Asante-Achimnof, Kwame Andy Appiah-Kubi, was hostile towards officers who investigated the allegations he made that a businessman attempted to bribe some lawmakers. The OSP, in his first half-year report for 2023, recorded that Mr. Appiah-Kubi's interview was the first in time. Now, the lawmaker had stated outrightly that a certain well-known, wealthy Ghanaian businessman visited Parliament House on the 1st of October 2022 and requested a meeting with a section of the NPP members of Parliament. He stated that at the meeting, the well-known wealthy businessman offered them huge sums of money in envelopes with the intention of influencing them to rescind their demand for the resignation or removal of Mr. Oforiatta. He further stated that the members of Parliament stood their ground and rejected the offer of money. Mr. Appiah-Kubi did not disclose the identity of the well-known wealthy businessman during the interview. The OSP in his report said Mr. Appiah-Kubi refused to disclose the identities of the members of Parliament present at the meeting with the undisclosed businessman. He refused to disclose the identity of the wealthy businessman. He refused to disclose the amount of money offered by the undisclosed businessman. He refused to answer all other questions posed to him. He showed open hostility to the authorized officers of the office, and he was unyielding in his resolve not to cooperate with the investigation. Indeed, he flatly refused to cooperate with the office, though he had stated that he would fully cooperate with the investigation. And though he declared to the media subsequent to the officer's interview that he would cooperate, he fully cooperated with the office. By this report, we can confidently say that Honorable Appiah-Kubi is either acting cowardly or unpatriotically. My brother, my sister, a sitting MP, Andy Appiah-Kubi, he was so vociferous when this issue of a businessman coming to bribe Parliament, the majority side, to rescind his decision to unseat the finance minister for inefficacy and efficiency. My brother, my sister, he was on radio all over the place, shouting how they rejected huge sums of money from a certain faceless businessman. We also heard the voice of the majority speaker in Parliament saying the same things. My brother, my sister, today, the office that has been mandated by the people of Ghana initiated by your president, the president of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo. Today, you will sit back and arrogantly say that you will not cooperate. My brother, is there a law that can force these people to speak the truth? If they do not want to speak the truth, I am so ashamed of some of these parliamentarians. Utterly ashamed of this nonchalance. Hi! You sit in parliament and make laws. And the laws you make in parliament, you expect that Ghanaians will follow and adhere to these laws. When the laws are not adhered to, the police would enforce that. The courts would also enforce that. You make a mockery of the same laws you make in court when you decide to shield attempted bribery and corruption. What kind of an MP are you? Now this Appiah-Kubi guy, would he continue to hold himself as an honorable or a dishonorable? Hey, let's speak truth to power. Nobody is bigger than the truth. You are those making the laws in parliament. You are telling our children that yes, you are very important and your duty is very, very meticulous. In fact, your duty is so important because without you, there will not be laws in the country. We have given you our mandate to be able to go into the Parliament House and make laws to represent us. Now, the same laws you make, you are the same people who are breaking these laws. What impudence, what arrogance, what nonchalance, what unpatriotic behavior. These are faceless, shameless guys. It hurts me. Now, when it is about Ghana, my brother, my sister, we cannot compromise anything. Patriotism is the watchword. Ghana first. It doesn't matter who has gray hair and who has a long beard. It doesn't matter whose nose is like a grinding stone. It doesn't matter whose eyes are like the eyes of a parrot or a lion. We all have to stand for Ghana. I'm so ashamed of you, Appiah-Kubi. Very much ashamed of you, my brother. So you expect people to respect parliamentarians? You expect people to call you honorables? Oh, what a shame. I'm sure your constituency is ashamed of you. Again, I'm so sure that the people of Ghana are disappointedly ashamed of you. Hey, the way this man was speaking on radio, we all expected that he would bring finality to this issue. Or did they go back to take the envelopes? And for that matter, their mouths have been sealed. What disgrace to the parliament. I will call on the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Bagbin. Please don't sleep on this issue. This issue is so shameful. It is a smear on the integrity of the parliament. It is a smear on the integrity of lawmaking in Ghana. Ha! A whole sitting MP, an honorable, who has suddenly become a dishonorable because their silence has been bought in one way or the other. What a shame. I leave it here, my brother. Yes. And to the office of the special prosecutor, you are doing your work. I am glad what Kissie Jabin is doing. Right now, do not hide anything, bring out everything in public. Because the more we get to know what you're doing, the more we will know that you're working. And continue to expose some of these faceless guys. Continue to expose some of these guys who hide in parliament and tell us they are patriotic. Yet when you check them out, you realize that they are utterly unpatriotic. To God be the glory. Yes. Now the next thing I quickly want to look at is this. And I'm reading this from Ghana Web. It says, Nana Kwame Bediako denies tax evasion allegations amidst GRA claims. My brother, yesterday the information came out that Cheddar had evaded tax to the tune of over 7 million Ghana cedis. it will just be fair to also look at his rebuttal, right? So let's look at it. Nana Kwame Bediako, tax evasion allegations amidst GRA claims denied. I read. Nana Kwame Bediako, the founder of the New Force, has refuted tax evasion accusations made by the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, emphasizing his consistent fulfillment of tax obligations. Now, in response to headlines regarding his failure to file personal income tax returns and subsequent fines, Bediako, also known as Cheddar, has taken to social media platform X to counter the claims. According to a publication dated January 18, GRA accused Cheddar of not filing personal income tax returns from 2013 to 2016, resulting in a total of 7 million and over Ghana cedi fine and accumulations. Cheddar vehemently denied the accusations, suggesting that the GRA aims to tarnish his reputation deliberately. He assessed his consistent tax compliance over his more than 2-decade stay in the country, emphasizing his dedication to fulfilling financial obligations. He stated, "I have consistently fulfilled my obligations and continue to do so." He attributes the tax evasion claims to a government attempt to disgrace him, asserting that the publication pictures were a deliberate move. Cheddar went on to challenge the GRA's approach, urging them to schedule a meeting if they believed he was tardy in tax payments. I'll leave it here. Yes, I'll leave it here. Now, first and foremost, we said that until he came out publicly to say he wanted to be president, there were no issues. This is a dirty government that will continue to witch hunt political opponents. My brother, my sister, when you start voicing your anger and bitterness at this government, they always dig into your grave to dig out skeletons. That is why if you want to hold public office, you must make sure that all your tracks are covered and that your hands are clean. It's like going to Equity. My brother, my sister, now listen to me more attentively. This government will do anything possible politically, shamelessly, to deny anybody his franchise. After all, before Nana Akufo-Addo had his second term, they gunned down and killed people in broad daylight. He has not had the courtesy to apologize for the bloodshed. Remember, he told you, all die be die. He was so desperate to become president. Today, he has become that president at the zenith of his lousiness. My brother, my sister, we still see this president and we can't wait for his days to be over. Even Bawumia cannot wait for this president's days to be over. My brother, my sister, this was the same president who became so partisan that it is nauseating. Oh, you didn't vote for me, but I'm still here to solidarize with you. Oh, because you voted out my MP, I decided not to develop your area. Is the money for you? Such shameless talk. It's so nauseating. Cheddar was walking all over the place. My brother, my sister, in his own words, for 20 years he's been in this country. Nobody ever asked him or talked to him about tax evasion. The moment he announces candidature for presidency, all of a sudden, his skeletons have been dug out. But of course, that does not make wrong correct. Wrong is always wrong. Cheddar, listen, man. Cheddar said that he paid 30,000 Ghana cedis to be able to get the Independence Square to have his program. But they gave him a report that said he paid 10,000. He never provided a receipt. Again, Cheddar is saying that he's paid all his tax obligations. He has not provided us with a tax certificate. My brother, when you pay your tax, you get a certificate, isn't it? Especially if it is huge like this. Every tax that is paid, you have a tax certificate. You may call it a receipt. I call it a tax certificate. Anytime I'm traveling outside the country, I'm asked for a tax certificate. Thankfully, before my salary even gets to me, it is taxed. When I cough, they tax it. When I walk, they tax it. Oh my God. And I'm glad that I'm paying tax. To God be the glory. Anybody who does not pay tax is unpatriotic. He's not deserving to be called Ghanaian. If Cheddar says he has paid all his taxes up to date and that he's been disgraced and embarrassed, you know how to go to court. This is not the first time you are threatening that you are going to court. You know the way to court. And again, you have the chance to come and sit on social media and write all these things. Why don't you post your tax certificate? Talk is cheap. Post the certificate. Put out your receipt and say, listen, I paid. Oh, these people are liars. Then we can take it up and run with it. You can't sit down and back, and say the people should invite you so that you will go in your suit and lions and tigers and go and sit down there and frighten them with your lions and tigers. Debbie, Jatano de Estronoba, Sibono Estropa. So we will invite you. Post your certificate. Post your tax certificate. Post the receipt. Post it. If there's anything on it that is sensitive, blot it out. You know how to do it. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. If you want to be president, please be transparent. Now, as I see Radio that first published this thing, said that it has documents. And some of us have been privy to those documents, my brother. My brother, my sister, showing that the taxes have not been paid. If it's a lie that they fabricated all these things, you know what to do. Post your tax certificate. Is it difficult to do? Please don't let us continue with this hanky-panky business. Mickey Mouse child's play. It's a joke. It's a serious country. We want serious people to run for office, not jokers. Please, let's be serious. Final thing. And this one I'm reading from Peace FM Online. It says, Bawumia to address the nation on 7 February. And Sami Awuku is the one disclosing this. I read it. Barring any hitches, Vice President and the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, MPP, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, would soon be addressing the nation to indicate his vision and plan for the country. I'll leave it here. What is Bawumia going to tell us that we don't know already? That he has built a certain AstroTurf from his own pocket, and he has failed to tell us the source of that money. That he has started building a Kayaye area, or is it that he's finished building it and he's about to launch it? That when the exchange rate comes in full force, you will be betrayed if the foundations are weak. That he is the whiz-kid of Ghana's economy. That he is the Adam Smith of Wale Wale. And that he is the guy who is going to be able to solve our digitalization problems. What else is Bawumia going to tell us? I will not waste my time listening to Bawumia. I have listened to Bawumia for 7 solid years, and all he has told me is a joke. It's child's play. I have lost all faith in Bawumia. I was one of the people that went to meet Bawumia in his house when he was in opposition. And he knows that. We sat down and talked. And it was all about Ghana. In fact, in the presence of his wife Samira, we spoke nicely and left. He saw the flame in my eye that I was all about Ghana. He saw the energy and the power burning for African consciousness. My brother, today, look at the Bawumia that we voted into power. He's a comedian. He's Ghana's answer to Mr. Bean. Wherever Bawumia goes, people are laughing and breaking their lips. Maybe he should rethink his career. The circus will be the best place for this guy. By their carelessness, many people have died. By their carelessness, so many jobs have been lost. By their carelessness, the nation has been disgraced. By their carelessness, my brother, we have gone to the IMF and the World Bank to disgrace our ancestors who were seeking proper independence for us. What is Bawumia going to tell me? I have told you already. My brother, if Bawumia wins these elections, I don't care if he wins elections 50, 100 years later. But these coming elections, it will mean that Ghanaians are not ready for proper change. That Ghanaians are immune to pain. That Ghanaians do not care what we are going through. I have no time to listen to Bawumia. I will go and watch Animal Kingdom, how the lion catches the zebra. I will go to Cheddar's cage and look at his tigers rather than listening to Bawumia. I'll leave it here. My name is Black Rasta. When we return, it will be time for the African history class.